divide. So this layer, for the MAC layer, it will first schedule the UE information, schedule the information from this layer. Okay, now we read this. Now we read this picture. So in this picture, for the MAC layer, we have two directions. One is for uplink, one is for downlink, right? So for the downlink, is in node B transmit to the UE. So for the downlink in node B, this is a node B entity. So for the downlink, first a data arrived at MAC layer from the RC layer to the MAC layer. So we have a buffer. We first store the information, the packages, maybe data, maybe signaling, yeah, the information in the buffer, And from the RC to the MAC layer, that is the which channel? Logic channel, right? We have many different information, many different kinds of information. Maybe paging, yeah, you can see the last picture, the channel mapping. Yeah, the logic channel, we have the paging, we have the broadcast, we have the common control, and so on. So maybe here or route are different kinds of information. So the different kinds of information, maybe we will multiplex them. That means in one MAC, this is the RC information. It will arrive at the MAC layer. So maybe this is around the MAC layer, maybe have the paging, right? For example, this is a paging. Maybe this is a broadcasting. I use it for example. Maybe this is a common signaling. Yeah, from RC it may be add money. So for MAC layer, this is a MAC resource. For multiplexing inside, for different kinds of information, I can multiplex in the same MAC, packet. So this is multiplexing. So it will perform the multiplexing. Yes. So from the multiplexing, yeah, I will transmit. So how to transmit? It is where use which resource we need to schedule it, right? So for the downlink, who estimated the channel quantity? It's the UE side, right? UE will according the RI signals to estimate downlink channel quantity. So the UE will report to the node B. The node B, according the CQI, this is the scheduler, to schedule which UE and which UE. UE will also have many. We have different UE. For example, if the paging is for all the UE, right? So maybe it will not use the scheduler, yeah, and not according to the UE. But maybe it's dedicated signaling or dedicated traffic. So I need according to the UE. So this part, the scheduler, it will according to the information. So for example, we use traffic according to the traffic. So it will according to the UE report the CQI to decide how to schedule the UE. So which resource and what's the modulation and the coding. Because it will perform the modulation and the coding. So use which MCS, the modulation level, right? So the scheduler, it will decide this. So it will tell the MAC layer. It will contain this information. It multiplies it and deliver to the modulation and the coding and deliver to the low layer. So this is the downlink. So for the uplink, So for the uplink, it's UE transmit to the downlink. The UE transmit to the inode B. So for the uplink, the next is basic here. Here is the hair layer from the RC arrived at the MAC layer. Same, it first arrived at the buffer, right? We install it in the buffer. So this buffer will also have many different kinds of channels for the CCCH, DCCH, DTCH, for different logical channels. For different logical channel, we will define a different priority. That means which priority, which logical channel data I will transmit first. So the UE will first perform a priority handling. First, according to the priority to transmit information, to process information. So it have a priority handling. So inode B also have this, but for inode B is processed by the scheduler. The UE have priority. Yes, the UE service also have priority for the downlink. But the inode B, when the inode B schedule the UE, it will use the scheduler. So all this is according to it's realized by the scheduler. But for the uplink, the UE, if the inode B have already have the UE, that means I schedule you, I allocate some resource for you. But this resource, which one information you can transmit is decided by the UE. So the UE it should have a priority handling. It has this function. So the uplink channel quality is evaluated, is estimated by the inode B side. The inode B side, according to this, to schedule the UE, right? Schedule the UE. So that is, if I arrive the data, I should tell inode B, I have data to transmit. So it will report the BSR, the buffer state. If my buffer have data, I will report to the inode B. The buffer state report, that is the buffer state report, to tell the scheduler. The scheduler is that it will, according to the uplink channel quality, to select a transport format. That means use which MCS. It will tell the UE. The UE, when it performs the modulation and coding, it will use this. So when the inode B schedule it, so I will process data according to the priority. Okay, which information? I will first process it. Okay, we will use the priority to locate it in the MAC PDU. So maybe it will be multiplexing different channels. And after that, this information it will perform the modulation and coding, and then go to the physical channel. And through the physical channel, transmit to the inode B side. So this is an entity, the MAC layer entity. So for the uplink and the downlink, we can see it has some different. Yes, it has some difference. So for the function, because the entity is different, so the function also will be some different. Yeah.
Question.
According the kind of process, which kind of the process the critical request will create the problem for the services? May I ask now?
Your question is for
masalah
this
masalah
process?
Kind of the
kalau
part
bersih
of
laporan
the
salah
possible to create a problem.
coba darah akan dia
This,
coba tapi jam 2 jam 3
so
nggak kuat
which can
Terusnya tidur.
Hah? Tidur setengah 12
So
Dia kan
actually for the MAC
tidur
layer,
setengah 12
actually
udah
the MAC
dulu
layer it
Oh
will
iya, besoknya.
generate the
Kali.
problem MAC size.
ya itu
So we
makan pasti bawa
here
aku mau makan dulu apa tidur dulu langsung
yeah, but that
buat
means
tegel
you always process the highest,
bawa kertas yang digulung
the highest
Nggak
priority.
pernah pulang.
So for example, yeah, here,
kalau suka bablas
Yeah, so this is the basic process. So
Bukan juga.
which kind of problem may be generated, right? So here for example, here in the buffer, first we talk about the buffer. So for the buffer, for the inode B side, for the downlink is okay. So inode buffer is in the inode B side, right? In the inode B side. So inode B, it will know when I need to schedule the UE. But for the uplink, the buffer is in the UE side, right? That means for the uplink, if the UE transmit information, actually for the uplink, the UE transmit information, it have two paths. First, it will transmit one SR, and then it will transmit a BSR. The SR is the scheduling request. For the BSR is the buffer state. Report. That is, if the UE want to do the service, it first request the resource, right? It first requests the resource. One is that the UE at the connected state, and the UE have some resource. The UE will report the BSR directly. The BSR, the buffer state report, is tell the inode B the data volume. That is how many data I want to transmit. You should allocate how many resource to tell the inode B. If you don't the BSR, inode B doesn't know how many should allocate for you. So this one, if the UE reports the BSR, but the inode B cannot receive it, what will happen?
It will not reserve any resource.
Yeah, it cannot allocate a proper resource, right? I cannot receive your BSR. That means I don't know you have the service. So another is at the connected state, and the UE have some PUSH resource, but it's not enough. It wants to request the resource, so it will report the BSR directly, right? But if the BSR cannot arrive at the inode B, or the inode B cannot decode it correctly, the inode B cannot allocate some proper resource for the UE, right? This is one kind. Another is that, for example, the UE at the idle state, or there is no PUSH resource, I cannot send the BSR, because you send the BSR, you also need the resource, right? So I need to send the SR first. The SR is in the PUSH, it's carried by the PUSH. Now one function for the PUSH is transmit SR. This is the service request. So this is for the UE, this is inode B. So if the inode B want to allocate some resource for the UE, first it will use the PUSH to transmit the SR. Okay. When the inode B receives the SR, that means the inode B know the UE have data to transmit, but he doesn't know how many data he will transmit. So it will use PDCH. To allocate some resource to the UE. And then the UE use the PUSH to transmit the BSR. That means how many I will. After that, inode B should allocate the resource by which channel? PDCH, right? By PDCH. This is the schedule information. This is also schedule information, but these two are different. this schedule information is for which one? For BSR. Right? So this schedule information is for the real data. Right? Is for the real data. So only if the inert bit received BSR, it could know how many data the UE will transmit. Is one. The first problem, the inert bit should receive the UE BSR. Here the status. Here the status. If it cannot receive, it cannot schedule the UE. The UE cannot perform the services. So for the BSR, for this, the bucket state report, we have some different kinds. We have the, for example, the regular BSR. It means if some data arrived at buffer, I will report BSR. This is I have new data, right? New data arrived, the regular BSR. And also we have some periodic BSR. That means we will set a timer. If the timer expires, I will report. So for the regular BSR and the periodic BSR, we need to configure the parameters. Usually, the vendor will help you set these parameters. So usually we don't need to modify them. But if at first the parameter we set wrong, it will affect the UE, cannot transmit the BSR, then it cannot perform the service. So this is one, the BSR. Another is that, for example, this buffer, before I transmit this status, it will perform a priority handling, right? And before I transmit the data, the buffer also goes through the priority handling. That means which buffer, which data go to the multiplexing is decided by priority handling. The UE decides which channel, which logical channel data can be transmitted. So the priority, we will set a PBR. That is the different logical channel. It will have a different priority. So it always first transmit the highest priority. But at this condition, if we only consider the priority, that means the lowest priority channel, maybe it never have opportunity to transmit data, right? So we will give it a PBR. This is, we can think, it's a guaranteed bit rate. That means even you have a lower priority, I will guarantee you can transmit these bits. So even you are at a higher level, a higher priority, every time you can transmit the maximum value is the PBR. So if you get the PBR value, and then I will transmit the lower priority. So if the PBR set is wrong, you can get some is priority here, priority handling. This part, if you set a different parameter, you set a wrong parameters, maybe some special service the UE cannot do. This is the priority, this part. And then it will arrive at the multiplexing. Yes? Yeah, we will, according to the mark layer, the PDU size, to multiplex the different channels. And it will go to the modulation and coding. The modulation and coding is decided by which one? By the UE, by the inert bit. Inert bit will perform the transform format selection. That means it will select the MCS, the modulation and coding scale. So if I cannot select a proper MCS, what will happen? Do you know what is MCS?
Yes.
MCS is the modulation level. For example, the BPSK, QPSK, 16 QAM, 64 QAM, like this. Right? If your channel quantity is good, I can select a high level. So the data rate will be higher. Right? So it's according to the uplink channel quality. The channel quality is performed by the input B. If the input B can perform a good channel quality, that means exact channel quality, it can select a proper modulation and coding scale. If it cannot select a proper MCS, it may be generate a high bit error rate. It may be slow the bit rate. This is the modulation coding, this part, right? Yeah, this is for the uplink. So same with downlink. For the scheduler, the scheduler is realized by the input B. Actually, for different manufacturers, they maybe have a different algorithm. Because for different manufacturers, this is realized by themselves. So maybe they will realize by a different method. So if the algorithm is good, it can schedule the UE. It can schedule the UE properly. But if it set a not proper schedule algorithm, so maybe some UE it cannot transmit data. It cannot receive data. It's a scheduler. All others are same. The UE will perform the downlink channel quality and report the CQI to input B. The input B should select a proper transport format selection. Select a transport format that is MCS. So this is just from the entity we read this information. Not I tell you. You can also read it from this picture for every part. Yeah. So the buffer we also will set a buffer size. So this buffer size is decided by the UE capability. We know the UE have many different categories. Yeah. Category 1, category 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even to 11. And for different categories, it means the UE have a different capacity. So for different capacity, it decides the buffer size. So how many data I can store in my buffer. So if it's full, if a new data arrives, I cannot restore it and I cannot transmit it. Maybe it will be right? So some parameters is according, some functions is according to the UE. For the UE, for the priority handling is realized by the UE. But the algorithm is already fixed by the 3GPP protocol. Yeah. So this is just from the entity we can see. So here is this picture is also come from the 3GPP protocol. So that is the entity. It contains so many paths, and so many paths it can realize these functions, and this function is related to the channel. It's related to channel. In the morning, you asked me a question is that for different channels, different service, it maybe have a different process, right? Yeah. No, it isn't here. He asked me. He asked me for different channels. It represents different services. So we may have a different process. So how to know which services, which information, how to process it? Okay, from this picture we can know it. Okay, from this picture we can know that. This is the mic layer. The mic layer is in the middle of RRC.
My question is still continuing. According the category of UP right now, you provide in the market With the buffer, what your buffer on the side?
Input beside.
Good enough or still accommodate?
Here, no, here for. Oh, I must say that in the uplink, the buffer is for one UE. For one UE, right? For one UE, so it's based on the UE category. But for the input beside, it's not for one UE. It's not for one UE.
No, my question
Yeah.
is,
So
I
how?
know in the market,
Mhm.
looks like different than our implementation 6 dB, right? What we already implemented in the buffer capacity right now is good enough to accommodate
For this buffer, we will all the manufacturers they will give you a value, exact value that is the buffer size is which one. Because when we consider the capacity, as it relates to capacity, when we consider the capacity, we will use this hardware, how many cells, and how many RC connected users. Because these users, it will relate to the buffer. It will change to another KPI to evaluate it. We don't talk about actually the buffer size. What is buffer size? Because it's in the inner of the inner grid. So when we talk about the hardware capacity, we can to think how many users. Because this is for all the users. So if the input B, how many cells it configured for which cell, for one cell. So for the BPU, we know for the BPU we have who decides the capacity, total capacity. Is the CC bar, right? It's CC bar. Yeah, for CC bar, it decides. I can say it decides this. For CC bar, for our one BPU, we only have one CC bar or two CC bar. And maybe for FTD we use one CC bar. For TTD we use another CC bar. Right? For one CC bar, it decides how many users. For example, it supports 1,000. Supports 1,000. It is 10,000. 800 users. So it realized by the input beside. So for different CCE bar, maybe we use newest CC bar. The newest CC bar is CC, for example, the CCE1, or for 5G. Okay, this size will also be different because RC connected users are different. It's decided by the users, right? So we don't talk about the buffer size. We use RC connected users. Okay. Any question? No. Okay, now we continue. Okay, so this is just for the intensity. So for the function, okay, now from this function, from this picture, we can solve this morning problem, this morning question. That we can see in the whiteboard, this is the function. So the function we can think is one procedure, right? That is, here in the upper is RC layer. We have from RC layer to the MAC layer, we use the logic channel. It means different information, different services. And from MAC layer to physical layer is the transport. So we can see that the PCCH information and one part of PCCH, the MAC layer don't process it, right? It just goes through the MAC layer and I transmit it to physical layer. I don't process it, right? You can read it. You can read this information. This means for paging, the MAC layer, we will not process it. We just transmit it. Yeah. So here how multiplexing. It will not go through the multiplexing. That means, okay, is a unique PDU. Yeah, I will not multiplex it. So this is the paging. For paging, it just goes through MAC layer. MAC layer will not process it. Right? This is paging. This is paging. So for the BCCH, when we talk about the BCCH, okay, I swap it. We know the BCCH, it contains two parts information, right? One is male, one is SIG. One is male, one is SIG. So which one is male, which one is SIG? Left is male, right? So that means for the PBCH, for the male information, okay, it goes through to the BCH. Yeah, this information for the BCCH, it contains male and SIGs. For the male, it just goes through the MAC layer. The MAC layer will not process it, right? It will not process it. Okay. Next time you see this picture, or you will know the functions. Yeah, just from the picture. MAC layer doesn't process it. And for the BCCH, another information is the SIPs. The SIPs only go to the HAC, right? Only go to the HAC. The HAC, after the HAC processing, it will go to the downlink shared channel and transmit to the UE. But we know for the HAC procedure, the HAC is that when I transmit data, the other side will give me a feedback. But here, this HAC is a special HAC because for the BCH, for the mails, it's broadcast to all the users. I don't need the UE to give me a feedback. So it's not the real HAC procedure. It's not the real HAC procedure. Now this is the BCCH. So the right is CCCH, DCCH, and DCCH. So for the downlink and uplink, these three channels are same, right? These three channels are same. So if for the uplink, the uplink CCCH, DCCH, and DTCH, it will go to where? It will first perform the logical channel prioritization. Yeah, that means which logical channel I will transmit first, like this. So this is uplink only. So if for downlink, okay, it will go to the multiplexing directly. So if at the one end we perform the multiplexing, so at the other end it will perform the demultiplexing. So these two functions, they should be bound together. Yeah, multiplexing and demultiplexing. And after that, the multiplexing, then the status we will start the hack process, right? The hack process. So after that, if we start the hack process, yeah, it will start a hack process and transmit to the lower layer. And all these are the process procedure. And when we transmit the MAC layer, except this, the MAC layer it also has some MAC CE. We name it the control element. Yeah, it will have some control element. And if for random access, it initiated by the MAC layer. The MAC layer have a random access control. You can see that no upper layer arrived to the random access control. That means the random access control is initiated by the MAC layer, right? No mapping from the uplink. So it's only exists in the MAC layer. So this is the initiate. and it will transmit to the lower layer. So from this picture, we'll know paging and mail. It just goes through the MAC layer. It will not process it. And for the other three, for the downlink, it will perform multiplexing directly. We don't need process the logic channel prioritization. For the uplink, it will perform this. It is select, okay, so many logic channels. Which one I need to transmit first? This is for the uplink. And for the random access control, okay, it's initiated by this layer, MAC layer, yes. So this is the layer function structure. So from this layer structure, from the entity, you will know the common process, right? From this structure, you will know for different information, it will have a different process. Yes, it will have a different process. So now we analyze how many functions the MAC layer it can realize. First is the channel mapping, right? From the higher layer to low layer, it should map to the right channels. For the PCCH, it should map to the PCH like this. Yeah, the channel mapping. And for the multiplexing, for different messages in the MAC layer, okay, I will multiplex it. For the different SDU, I will multiplex it in one PDU. Yeah. For the MAC layer, this is this is one RC PDU. I will not process it. I just locate it in the MAC layer. So this is the. And before I start this, do you know what is PDU and SDU? Because I talked many times, but maybe you are confused. PDU and SDU. Yeah, that is for this layer. If a data wrapped at this layer for example, this is RC layer. So the data arrived at RC layer, and the RC layer it will process it and deliver it to the MAC layer, right? So before the RC process it, this is an RC SDU. SDU, that means I don't process it. The service data unit. And when I process it, I will add an RC header, right? This data is the RC PDU. RC PDU. I have already processed it and I have already added the header. So for example, now this is a data arrived from the PDCP layer. So it's an RC SDU. It arrived at the RC. RC will process it, right? So this RC SDU, I will add one header. So this part we name it the RC PDU. That means one RC SDU add the header. This is a PDU, right? So for one RC PDU, maybe it contains many SDU. We know in RC it has the segmentation and the summary, right? So this is RC PDU. That means one RC message packet I transmit to the lower layer. So the MAC. So this RC PDU is the RC PDU is the header at RC SDU, like this. Yeah, this is also a MAC SDU. The MAC SDU is equal to the RC PDU. So the MAC layer it will add a MAC header. the MCU and a mic header. Okay, this is a mic PDU. So one PDU, it may contain many SDU. So it may be around many RC PDU. Many RC PDU. Like this. And how many? Yeah, if my clear, if I have enough resource. Okay, I have many SDU. SDU 1, SDU 2, SDU 3, like this. So this is the multiplexing. But for the different, just like we see in this picture, for the PC stage and the BC stage, I don't process it, I just locate it. This PDU, I don't process it, I just locate it in the PDU. Transmit directly. I will not process it, and I will also not multiplexing it. It's a unique PDU. But for others, maybe perform the multiplexing like this. They will multiplex to one PDU. Yeah, this is multiplexing. And for multiplexing, it will have the demultiplexing. This is one pair of functions. And for the error correction, it's a hug. If we transmit the RC PDU, if the MAC layer is a data or service, such as CC stage, DC stage, DT stage, C3, it will perform the hug, right? It will perform the hug correction. And when we schedule UE, we should indicate the transport format select. We will select a proper transport, that is MCS, for the UE. And for the inode B side, it have a logical channel priority. This is in the UE side. UE side has logical channel prioritization. And for the inode side, it have processed UE priority. And also, if the UE want to perform services, it should report the status information, the status report, the buffer state. So we also name it the schedule information report. It is the buffer state, right? So this is the function. So these functions we can map to these two pictures. These two pictures show us how to realize these functions. So this is just a basic function, but when we see the entity for the uplink and the downlink, it has some different, right? So this is the functions we just see before. And here, some is for downlink, some is for uplink, and some realized in the UE side, some realized in the inode B side. For the first one, mapping channels, both UE and inode B, both downlink and uplink. And for multiplexing, both downlink and uplink, and inode B and UE. But here we see there is a difference. In the UE side, it only realizes the uplink. In the inode B side, it only realizes the downlink, right? Because the data, I just multiply one directional. For the UE, I process uplink. For the inode B, I process the downlink. So this is the difference. And for the demultiplexing, they are same. For the hug, so they have the both directional. Both downlink and uplink. I need to have the, even for UE, I need to have the uplink hug and the downlink hug. And for the inode B side, I should also have both. Yes, I should also have both. And for the transport format selection, it's only in the inode B. That means the inode B decide the UE use which one MCS. It cannot be decided by the UE. Yeah. So in the upper picture, you can see for this one, is the UE report to the node B select 1 for the UE. So this function is realized in the node B side, not in the UE side. As the priority handling between the UEs is in node B side. And for one UE, the priority handling is in node B side. For UE is logical channel prioritization. These two are different. So this is only for channel, and channel is only for UE, and UE is only for the uplink. And the last one is the scheduling information reporting. That is BSR. Is for the UE side. So through that 3 picture, we should know the MAC layer basic function and which function belongs to UE and which function belongs to node B. And different service have a different process. So you don't need to remember it. But if you understand it, when you see this picture, you will know. You don't need to remember it. But when you need to check it, you just see the picture, okay, you can understand it easily. Yeah. So for the MAC layer, it's service. It will provide service to the upper layer. And if it wants the MAC layer, if it wants to perform all the functions, it also need the lower layer help. So it has some requirement to the low layer. So the physical layer, if the MAC layer wanted to realize the functions, the physical layer should provide this to the MAC layer. So for example, the random access initiated by MAC layer, but we need to use the physical layer to transmit data, right? And the MAC layer, it scheduled the information. So the scheduled information, it should by the physical layer to transmit it. So the data transmission, which should transmit the data to the MAC layer. Now this is the physical layer to the MAC layer. And the hack feedback signaling. The hack process controlled by MAC layer. But the UE read the hack indicator, or node B read the hack indicator is in the physical channel. So I read this and I need to report to the MAC because the MAC have the buffer, right? The MAC have the buffer. And the scheduling requires the signal is BSR. The BSR is processed by MAC, but it should be delivered by the physical layer, right? And the measurement, it performed the measurement. So now we introduce the exact procedure about the scheduling. That is the scheduler. How this scheduler, one in the alternative, we have one function is a scheduler, and it can realize the UE schedulation, right? The UE schedulation. So for the UE priority and the UE channel priority is realized by the scheduler for downlink. It's realized by the scheduler. So for the scheduling algorithm, we have different kinds. One is site. How to select one UE. Now, for example, we finished our trainings. Almost all of you open your cell phone, right? You will search online. You will send messages. So, for example, if all of you send the SR to the node B side at the same time, so which one the node B should select? This is the UE priority. And that means which one I need to schedule it first. So this is one. Another is schedule one person. So how long let this person keep the resource? This is another aspect. So these two aspects. So according to these two aspects, we have different algorithms. So the first aspect is that I should select who, the input B should select who. So we have three kinds algorithm. One is that according to the channel quality. So whose channel quality is best, I will select whom. So if you use this, the cell always can get the biggest capacity, right? It can get the highest throughput. But some people, for example, some people at the edge of the cell, the channel quality is poor. So that person cannot have opportunity to transmit data, right? So for this one, we name it the maximum CI scheduling. That is, I only consider the channel quality. The CI is we can think it's a sinner. Whose channel quality is good, I will select whom. I always select the best channel quality person. All others I don't consider. I just want to get a highest throughput. So it's unfair, right? All of people, they have the right to do service, but for the algorithm, you don't give him opportunity. And this is one. Maximum CI. Another is round-robin. Round-robin is that I don't consider channel quality. Everyone, I will let you do service one by one. Every people have the opportunity, one by one. Generate a round, one by one. So from you to another like this. So if we use this one, okay, we can guarantee the fair, but we cannot guarantee the throughput. The throughput may be very low. You know, you want money, right? How to get money more? How to get more money? If the customers they can generate more data volume, so you can get more money, right? So if we use this algorithm, too less money. Money is so less, and maybe you cannot get the salary. Yes. So we won't get more money. So this algorithm we cannot use it. Yeah. So we delete this. We don't consider this. But we don't use this one. But we need to consider the fair. We need to consider because all of the users they give you money, but you don't let him do the service. It's unfair. So there is one partial fairness (PF), the partial fairness algorithm. This is that it will consider the channel quality, and also it will consider the fairness. So before we only consider the channel quality, we can use, for example, we can use the CQI, a good CQI, good channel quality. We use this one, a good channel, and also we need to consider the fairness. How to consider the fairness? Is that so? For example, if somebody have already service, sometimes it have already generated some data volume. So I need to consider other people who don't transmit the data, right? So that is a fairness. So if everyone is the first time to transmit the SR, I want to transmit the data, but all of us never transmit. So I only consider the CQI. Whose channel quality is better, I will select him. But after After that, I will consider the fairness. The fairness we can think is the history data volume. That how many data you have already transmitted. So if you transmit more data, your priority will be lower. Your priority will be lower. So we will use this tool. That means the CQI is the, we first consider it. And also we will consider the data volume you have already transmitted. Yeah, the CQI measures the data volume. But for different, we can give it a coefficient. Yes, for different manufacturers, they have different algorithms. They will use a different coefficient. That how many the CQI allocate and how many the data volume allocate, right? So we can control. All of the people have opportunity to transmit the data, but different people, even you have the chance, but maybe you cannot transmit many data. So I can guarantee the system support, because I first consider the good CQI people. And also for some bad CQI people, I also give you some chance to transmit. So we can guarantee the fairness, and we can guarantee the operator gets a higher support, yeah, get more money, right? So this is the scheduling. The scheduling. We name it fast scheduling. This is just how to select one UE, right? Now we use the last one, the PF algorithm. Have already selected one. I use this select one person. But how long let this person keep this resource? We have different scheduling algorithm. One is that this UE, once I schedule him, he will always keep this resource. Even he don't have services, he don't have the data transmit, I will also let him keep the resource. We name this persistent scheduling. All of you, once you get the resource, you will keep it until you go to idle state. If you are at a connected state, we know in the connected state, you only at the active state transmit the data. If you don't transmit the data, but the as connection not released, you also keep the resource. It's a waste, right? It's a waste. So we cannot use the persistent. That's one people always use it. So another is the semi-persistent. The semi-persistent that if the service is one periodic service, that we know the service it have a periodic, such as the VoLTE. We know in VoLTE the voice data is around every 20 milliseconds. Every 20 milliseconds there is a voice codec. Every 20 milliseconds. So for some special service, if we have this period, so I will know if I allocate this resource for you. So this time you can use it directly until the service is ended. For example, for the VoLTE, when you start the car, yeah, like him, right? He started a car and not in the tree, allocate him some resource. And now he is talking continuously, but the data not transmit continuous. It will sample his voice every 20 milliseconds and generate a packet. So the packet is our 20 milliseconds, we will have a packet. So the first time I transmit it, so for this is the time, this is the frequency. For semi-persistent is that the first packet is like this, use this frequency this time, because every 20 milliseconds you will transmit the data. Yeah, so next 20 milliseconds, you can use the same frequency. And next, you use the same until the call is end. If you hang the call, okay, we release it. But during the call, I will use the semi-persistent to schedule you. That means you don't need every time transmit a packet to ask for the resource. So we can save the control resource. We can save the control resource because every time we schedule the UE, it needs to use the control resource to deliver it. So we can save it. So for the data service there is no period, right? So we cannot use it. So we use is the dynamic scheduling. Dynamic. So that means once I have a packet arrived, I need to ask for the resource. Every time I need to send one SR. I need to send the request. So every time I need. So for data service, we don't have period. We can use the dynamic. So if the service is end, I will release. Next time you have data to transmit, okay, you can ask for. So every time like this. And for the voice, we can use SPS. For the data, we use the dynamic scheduling. But when we use the SPS for the voting, we know because in this procedure we will use hack. For example, you transmit this packet. Okay, it feedback on us. You transmit next packet. But if our feedback is not, that means you need to retransmit again, right? You need to retransmit again. So if I wait for the SPS scheduling, so the waiting time is too long, 20 milliseconds. So at this time, for the retransmission, we will use the dynamic scheduling for the voltage. If we retransmit the packet, we will use dynamic. That means if there is a NAC feedback, I will apply the resource to transmit. I will not wait for the SPS. I will retransmit it. Because if you generate a delay, when we transmit the data to the upper layer, we should transmit it by sequence. So the first packet is wrong. Even I received the later sequence, the later packets, I need to wait this. So if I use SPS, the delay is too large. So if the delay exceeds the timer, maybe we will discard it. Okay, this is the scheduling. And for the rest is just explained before I talked. For the scheduling, it maybe have more specifications for such as for the dynamic. It will according to different cans. It have many different. Okay. Okay, we introduce the last one, then we end today training. Okay, the last one, easier one. I know you want to go home.
You can continue until mine is okay.
Okay, I know you want to go home. We will just introduce the simplest one. Okay?
I will stay.
So that is for the scheduling. We know for the function, one is for the transport format selection. That is MCS. So for the MCS, we call it AMC, the adaptive modulation scale. So the adaptive is it has different cans, the time domain, frequency domain, and the space domain. That means you according to the different cans, according to the time, according to the frequency, or according to the space quantities to decide the AMC, how to adjust the AMC. So no matter which one, we will according to the channel quantity to decide it. So this is the procedure we decide it. So before the input B select the transport format, the UE will report the CQI. So for the channel quantity, it's not only contains the CQI. For the channel information, we know the channel information, we name it CSI, channel state information. Not only contains CQI, it will also contain PMI and RAP. The next two information is decides whether the input B can use MIMO. It decides MIMO. So when the input B receive it, this is for the downlink. Talk about the downlink. When the input B receive it, okay, the input B will check the buffer whether I have data to transmit, right? It will first check the buffer, okay? If the buffer is not empty, I have data. I need to schedule it. I need to transmit it. So the different buffer, the buffer, it contains different data, maybe, right? I will select the UE, that is schedule the UE. If I schedule the UE, if I have data information, I should start a hack process because the information transmit reliably. So it will issue a hack process for this data. If I schedule the UE, I will start this process. And I will according to the CQI, to select a modulation, RB, RV like this. This is for the modulation is which one? MCS. Modulation and the coding is which MCS. There is a mapping table between the CQI and the MCS. And the RB is the CQI also relates to the TB size. That is the biggest data volume you can transmit. It is according to the channel quantity. So it decides how many RB I can allocate. How many RBs the input can allocate. So all this relates to the CQI. The RV is related to the hack procedure. When we generate this data, this data we will divide it into different parts. Each part we name it a redundancy warrant. So we have 4 kinds: redundancy warrant 0, 1, 2, 3 like this. So that is the same data, but I have different kinds of warrant. So which warrant I should select like this? So the schedule UE and the size modulation. So it will first transmit the control information, the PDCCH, and after that, it will transmit the data. If the UE receives the data, because here it issues a hack process, it will feed back the hack information. So this is the basic principle. So in the basic principle, it has the AMC. It contains which modulation and the MCS we should select. This is only for the downlink. So for the uplink, we don't need these two steps. Is the input B perform the channel estimation. It will get the CQI at the input B side by SRR signal, right? And then it will UE will report the BSR, right? And the input B according to the UE to schedule the UE. And it will send the information to the UE, the schedule information to the UE. The UE will issue a hack process, and the UE transmit the information, transmit the data, and the node B will feedback the hack. So all this is based on the CQI. How to set a modulation and error base is based on the CQI. So for the AMC, for the uplink and the downlink, the modulation level we have different. For the downlink, all the input B, it can realize QPSK 16 QAM and 64 QAM. But for the uplink, is based on the UE category, the UE capability. So usually the UE only can perform 16 QAM. Only Cat 5 and Cat 8, it can use the 64 QAM. Yeah, so it's based on the UE capability. So this one, it will affect the bit rate, right? For the QPSK, if we use QPSK modulation, that means one symbol how many bits it contains? 2 bits, right? And for the 16 QAM, one symbol is how many? 4 bits. 64 QAM, one symbol is 6. So for different channel quantity, this has a different modulation level. So if we use a 64 QAM, the data rate is 3 times than the QPSK, right? It's 3 times. But if we use a hair, so the input B, if we want to decode it, if the input B want to decode it, the channel quantity must be better, must be good. If channel quantity is bad, so maybe there are some noise, some interference, it cannot decode it. So it may be generate a hair error bit. So we cannot fix the modulation. We must according to the CQI. This is according to the CQI to set the modulation. Coding are same. The modulation is that we have, this is the base. This is the base like this. It first goes through the coding. And then it will go to the modulation. The modulation, we can know it. So several bits generate one symbol, right? So it means several bits generate one symbol. Okay, we can enhance the efficiency. But in order to guarantee the reliable, the input B or UE for the transmission, it will use the channel coding. The channel coding is that I will add some redundancy. That means it's useless. Just guarantee the data transmit. So here is to guarantee the reliable. Here is to guarantee the efficiency, right? Efficiency. These two different. So if we use a hair modulation, that means the channel quantity is good. Then here I also can enhance efficiency. I can add less redundancy. But if the channel quantity is spiked, okay, the modulation is use a low level, and also the coding rate is slow. Coding rate is slow. I add much redundancy to guarantee. To guarantee it's transmitted reliable. Reliable is the first. We first guarantee it's reliable, and then we guarantee its efficiency. Because if you want transmit data, if you want to do the service, at least you should receive it correctly, right? So the reliable is most important. If we can guarantee the reliable, then we can enhance the efficiency. So this is AMC to adjust the coding and the modulation. We can get a different bit rate. We can get a different bit rate. Okay, this is the one function of the lab. Okay, today we finish. You can go home. You can take a rest. Many people you have already fly outside.
Yeah, still jet lag. Jadi aku pengen kasih jet lag itu baru sekali dan itu semalam. Ketika pesawat udah masih gini-gini. Kenapa ini gue bilang? Bapak kan duduknya paling belakang pojok.